So I'm drawing this again for its symbolism. And light bodies are made of a number of different things. Here you can see um, the subtle bodies. There's 7 subtle bodies that we have surrounding our physical body. So I'm going to start with those and explaining what those are. The first one, this light blue one here, that's as it's the closest to our actual physical body. Now, these are all the different energetic bodies in our auric field. Okay, these are what comprise our auric field. So the first one here is the etheric body. This one is literally like a quarter of an inch off of your physical body up to like a couple inches. And this one has the closer these fields are to our body, the lower their density becomes, right? Because they have to be able to connect with our physical form. And our physical form obviously is much, much denser than something that's just light, right? So the closer they are to our physical body, the lower their vibration to be able to be more of a match, to be able to communicate with our physical body. So this one here, the etheric, is it holds the blueprint for our physical form. Isn't that cool? So this actually comes in first before our physical form is even made. And it also holds info in terms of our actual physical well-being and our health. So we're going to eventually learn how to be able to utilize the information in here to fix our own physical health issues. And we talked last time about the cycles per second, right? The Hertz frequency, how everything is a microcurrent and runs at a cycles per second. So this one has the lowest cycles per second compared to all the different energetic ones. Okay, so that's the etheric. And then the one next to that one is called the emotional body. And this one's about 3 inches out. It's this orange one. And this one is where you hold your emotions, okay? You don't actually hold your emotions in your mind, you hold them in your energetic bodies. And depending on the type of emotions you're having, this one will change colors, okay? This one is made out of different rainbow colors, and the colors will change according to your emotional state, kind of like a mood ring. So if you're feeling really negative and you're having a lot of negative emotions, it will be darker colored, okay, than if you're feeling more happy. And it also will become more dull in terms of its hue if you're having a lot of negative emotions. The next one, the third one, is the mental body. And the mental body is about 3 to 8 inches out from your physical body. And this is where we hold our thoughts. Okay. Our thought forms are actually created in the mental body. They're not actually created in our mind. Our mind is kind of like a conductor of information. So with this one, this is where also we can get downloads of ideas. All right. So ideas, our imagination, all of that happen in this here mental body. And then that information comes through and gets denser and denser until it comes to our mind. And then we can process it linearly. So that's the mental body. And then these 3, like the mental, the emotional, and the etheric bodies, are much more involved with our physical operations. Okay. The 4th body that I've got here in pink, the astral body, is where we actually start to connect more with the spiritual realms. Okay. And this one here, the pink one, is about a foot out from your physical form. And this is your bridge. This is our bridge between our physical realm and the energetic world. It's used, so, the astral body, you've probably heard of astral projection, right? So the astral dimension or density or frequency is used for astral projection for people who know how to do that. And we do that sometimes in dream state. We go out using the frequency in this field to sometimes go out into the astral plane. So with this one, it also is involved in creating like out of body experiences and quantum field jumping. So some people really know how to use those quantum fields and jump to different quantum fields, and that's when their astral body is very active. So it's really actually closely tied to our emotional body, and sometimes it will take on the same color depending on what we're experiencing in our emotional body. Okay. All right. So those are the first four. And the astral body is usually like a pinkish hue when we are in a higher vibrational state of love. Okay. Because pink, of course, is usually how the love frequency tends to show up in terms of its coloring. So the next one is the etheric template body. And this one's about 2 feet out. And it's a deep blue in color. And this one is this one is the blueprint for your physical body, this etheric template. And it's involved in, when we activate this one, we can create some very deep healing for our physical body. It is also the part of our energetic field that connects us to parallel lives in parallel universes. So as a soul, our soul is multidimensional. Our soul has many incarnations of us in different parallel lives, different parallel universes. And, it's not just our soul is not just connected to this one life that we're having now in our human form here. We're having many, many different parallel lives and parallel universes on many different Earths, or even many different kinds of planets. So it's this etheric template that helps connect us to all those other parallel aspects of us. I know that's probably quite a mind bend, but that's the level of our auric field that connects with that. The next one, the sixth one here in yellow, is the celestial body. And this one really, when it's really activated, it really connects us to the divine. It works through our heart chakra, and it really is one of the bigger parts of this whole piece that connects us to the spiritual realm in terms of aligning us more to our universal truths and to our soul. Okay. And when it's really activated, you go into a bliss state and an unconditional love state. So whenever you're in that state, know that your celestial body is really lined up at that time. And it tends to be in shimmering opalescent colors, but that was not an option on my paint screen here. So just going with the yellow, okay? Victoria, can you draw some shimmering opalescent colors for us? So that's that one. The last one, the seventh one, is the causal. And this one is very different. It's actually quite a bit further out. I'm drawing this for just symbolism, and it's as I said, and it's more egg-shaped, and it comes in a more of a bright gold color. It's the highest vibration of all of our subtle bodies, simply again because the further we go out, the higher the vibration becomes of the energetic bodies. And this one, when this one becomes activated, that's when we go into like a real integration of oneness, knowing that not just like a logical understanding of oneness, but a full-on experiential understanding of what oneness is, and that we're all one with source and we're all connected. Whether we're on this planet or another planet, we're all connected. We're one with the universe. So this one also holds all the information of all of the incarnations we've had. And it takes that information to the whatever new life you're having. Okay. So it will provide that information for us in any kind of new incarnations that we're going to have going forward. Okay. Is everyone good with that? It's clear? Got it. Okay. So now when it comes to the activation, so these are the subtle bodies. And then we have the chakras, which most people are familiar with, right? We have the 7 chakras. Those are also part of our light body anatomy, along with the Merkaba, but I'm not going to get into the Merkaba too much today. And also there's a pranic tube that goes right from in the center of our body. So right in between the front of our torso and the back of where our spine is, right in the center of our body, we have a column of light that goes right up from the top of our crown, right down the center, down through the perineum, and out into the ground. And that column contains light, okay? It contains light from the light bodies, and it brings that light in fully to the inside of our physical body, okay? So that's what I want to show here. Now, when it comes to these fields, you know, this is a very linear two-dimensional way of looking at them. But think of them as colorful vapors, like gaseous vapors that kind of move around, shift. Sometimes they even blend in with each other a little bit and then blend out again. So think of it that way, okay? Like almost like gaseous vapors that move back and forth. We just don't have the ability to see them yet with the way our eyes are, but people who do a type of photography called Kirlian photography will take pictures, and you'll be able to see some of the colors of some of these fields in those photographs. So that is what's happening there. And we hold a lot of our stuff in our emotional body and our mental body and our etheric body. So the picture that I had shown a little while ago, where is it here? This one. Don't save. Okay. This one here, you know, where I had shown in one of my blogs I'd written about how you carry like blocks of emotional trauma that create patterns and behavior systems going forward. You're holding them and they create bubbles of unseparated energy in those subtle bodies, okay? So you'll have like your etheric field or your mental field, but then there will be this like bubble of stuff that's a heavier density because it's holding emotions from some childhood experience or, you know, some negative event that happened to you. And then it'll be held as different bubbles in those fields, okay? And they will become like dark bubbles of heavier, denser energy. And when you have those heavier, denser energies in the fields, they will not let some of the light through that needs to come through in those different hues and colors of those fields, okay? So what happens is when we're born, oh, I didn't want that one. New, don't save. Okay, when we're born, it's kind of cool. What happens is the light bodies, okay, I'm just going to draw them as one big light body here, and I'll do it in a color that'll be easier to see. Let's do them in green. So the light bodies, we'll just say that all of this are the light bodies, okay? They will actually transmit their light down into the ones that are closer to our physical bodies. The combination of the etheric and the mental body, the emotional body, okay? So just imagine that this is a whole combination of them. So the light bodies will send the higher vibrational light bodies, like the celestial body, the causal body, etc. They will shine their light down to the bodies that are closer to our physical body. And then these bodies, the etheric, the mental, emotional, will take those light codes coming in and transmute them into energy, into a lower frequency, okay, that will then be taken in by our physical body. Okay, so when a fetus is not a fetus, but when an infant is born, a newborn, these are not very developed yet. But as the embryo is being formed in utero, these lights are coming in and they're actually forming the physical shape of the physical body that's going to be born. Okay. So they send all the light codes. The blueprint of what this physical form is going to look like is in here. Those light codes get sent in and then they get sort of transmuted. They mutate in a way where it can actually turn into a physical incarnation of a human being. I thought that was really cool. So that's how it works from our energetic world. And that's why babies, right, that are left in those kinds of homes, those orphanages, right, where they have no connection to any kind of human touch, really, or human nurturing energy, do not develop past a certain point. It's not because their muscles don't have the ability to, or the neurons don't have the ability to, but we need grounding. When we're babies and we are developing our physical form, we actually need these energies to be grounded to allow them to come into us. So that's actually the role that mom and dad play. Okay. So mom, when she's holding the baby is in her energetic field. And as the baby is in her energetic field and is getting the grounding that's needed, then those microcurrents that we've talked about, okay, can actually come in and give all the codes needed for that baby to continue developing, so that they don't, like you've seen some of those pictures in those orphanages where you've got a 13-year-old that still can't walk or still can't stand or form words or anything, because they didn't have the physical grounding of another physical body that has a developed energetic field to allow these to come in, because babies don't have the capacity yet. They don't have their own fields. So they need somebody else's field to form the ground for them. Okay. So that's some extra information, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Now, what's happening to us is, because we have so much stuff in our bodies, because we have so much stuff in our fields, this field, this field, so I'll just throw some funky looking blocks in, okay? Because we have so much of our own emotional stuff, the codes that need to come in get stuck. And I'm just sort of drawing little ones, but they're actually quite big in a lot of cases. Like these blocks, some of them are like huge. So the codes just sort of bounce off, okay? That they try to land in and go through, but in a lot of cases, they're just bouncing off. And so what's happening is that our light bodies are getting certain types of codes coming in now that can actually start to dissolve these big blocks that we have, so that we are going into a state where the blocks are slowly starting to dissolve, become lighter, and as a result, more of these energetic codes and the light codes are coming through. Okay. And as these dissolve, what's happening is that programs or patterns or experiences that we had that we don't really remember, or we don't even consciously realize that this is going on. So a lot of the stuff that's in our subconscious is coming out now. It's coming to the surface and it's coming to our consciousness. Okay. And as it does that, you're going to feel the emotional aspect of it, but you're also going to feel the real physical aspects of it. Okay. So, like that groin pain that we were talking about earlier is a perfect example of how there's some kind of a block in the etheric body or the mental body that's closest to that area. Okay. And so if you're holding something there, like we hold so much in the groin, actually, in that psoas muscle. So the psoas muscle has a real connection to our soul. So the groin pain, especially on the left side, because the left side is the feminine side, the nurturing side, is because the whatever that block is in that area is it's being bombarded with light. Okay, like like a little hammer, what's it called, jackhammer, and the muscle is releasing a lot of lactic acid. Okay, so it's going to feel sore, it's going to feel like you've worked out or you've pulled the muscle, and that could happen anywhere. And then as eventually when the light codes dissolve it enough and they can come through, you won't feel it anymore. So that's what's happening when you're having those kinds of moments, is the stuff is just getting through. Does that make sense?